Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Martina. I'm a medical doctor in Nigeria. I studied medicine for 6 years. I went through the MBBS program, and in today's video we are going to be having an unfiltered talk. Yes, so I'm going to be telling you guys some things that nobody really tells you about medical school before you go into it. Most times you just get in and you are shocked because a lot of things are not what you expected. Hoping that this video will help you, give you an insight about medical school. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, leave a comment down below if you're a medical student or you relate to any of these things I'm going to mention. Okay, so let's get into today's video. Number one, so there will be certain points where you feel like quitting and you question your decision to actually be a doctor. Medical school is so hard that you will work so much and you'll be like, is this actually what I want to do? Do I want to read like this? Do I want to study like this? Like, it will get so much, you will question yourself and be like, is this doctor thing even for me? Am I sure this is really what I want? Especially when you can see people studying other courses, moving on with life, finishing school, starting working, not studying as much, having time to play, chill, relax. And you ask yourself, is this really what I signed up for? And I just want to say that it's actually normal to have those thoughts, because when the work is a lot, when the studying is a lot, and you feel like, wow, can I actually do this? It's normal. In fact, you can tell yourself anything, but as long as you actually don't quit, you actually don't give up, because it is a whole process, it is a whole phase. So feeling like, is this really for me? It's something that will actually happen at different points in time, and just embrace the moment and continue studying, move on and continue trying to achieve your goal of becoming a doctor. So let's move on to the second thing that nobody tells you about medical school. I'm so excited in this video. So yeah, you cannot learn everything. You will read, you will forget. Yes, there's a whole lot of information that you need to know as a medical student, but unfortunately you cannot learn everything, you cannot know everything, and so many times you will read and you will forget. Krebs cycle, for example, medical students can relate. I myself, I don't know how many times I have memorized the Krebs cycle, in my first year, second year, but that is something that I keep forgetting, and that is just one example. So many times you will read and you will not remember. I just want to say, don't put so much pressure on yourself. As long as you understand the topic, you don't actually have to remember everything word for word or how things work. And especially because when you become a doctor, if you forget something, you can actually go back to check. Yes, it's not like school that, if you forget, you're going to fail an exam. You're actually not going to fail any exam in the real life. So if you forget, you can always go back, check, reread. Don't put too much pressure on yourself when you see yourself forgetting. As long as you understand that topic, just embrace the fact that you will read and you'll forget and move on. Okay? The third thing that nobody tells you about medical school is that you can actually have a social life. Yes, there's this thing of, all medical students should be so uptight and hard and, always reading and doing nothing else apart from school, reading, attending classes, going to hospital. People just feel like that is all medical students should do and do. Where, there are people that when they see you as medical students, wanting to have a social life, go out, have fun, they always feel like, you are an unserious medical student. And that is a very bad motive. In medicine, there's this suffering culture where people feel like if you're not suffering, then you're not a good medical student. If you're not being overworked, if you're not being burnt out, you're not a good medical student. That is not true. First of all, you actually have the time to have a social life, to do things outside of medicine. It all just depends on how you plan your life. So if you plan and create time for fun, honestly, you would actually have the time to do all these things. Be able to balance your studying, know how you study, know the best time for you to study, honestly, you'll be able to create time to fit in other social activities. So don't let anybody tell you that because you're a medical student, you should not have fun or have a social life, or be uptight. I am uptight. I was uptight in medical school, but that is just my personality. It's not because I did not have time for fun. I had a whole lot of time, but I chose to use my time to do something else. You understand? But there definitely is time. The fourth thing no one tells you about medical school, you guys, is that you will teach yourself almost everything. You see the amount of information that medical students have to learn. Do you think that one professor can teach you all these things or a particular topic in detail in just a 2-hour class? Like most times, people just think that, the professor has to teach, the teacher has to teach, and if they teach and you don't understand it, that means the teacher is not a good teacher or the school is not a good school. You guys, wherever you are, most times you learn information by yourself. It's not even what you learn in class. A teacher will take 2 hours to teach you a particular topic, and you'll be surprised that when you go to study by yourself, you will take like 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours to understand that same topic. That means you're going into more detail than your professor did. So most times you're going to be learning by yourself, and that is something that I did not even know before medical school. And like I got to med school, and honestly I felt like I was doing most of the reading. Like why is it that maybe I'm not understanding when the teacher is teaching, or like it's difficult to focus in class, things like that, but then I have to now take my own precious time to do the study and relearn everything by myself, and this is totally normal. And I would say regardless of where you're studying, for a moment I was thinking, maybe it was only my school, or maybe it was only in China because I studied in China. But actually, wherever you are, whatever school that you're in, most times you're studying by yourself. Most times you are learning and teaching yourself almost everything. What your teachers just do is give the guidelines for you to follow, and then you do most of the work by yourself. The fifth is your self-esteem will go through very terrible storms. You will get to different points where you'll begin to doubt yourself and doubt what you know, and you won't be scared to actually even speak up. Because imagine studying so hard for an exam, writing the exam and failing, or not getting a score as high as you thought you would get. Imagine what that would do to your self-esteem, devoting so much time and not getting the outcome that you actually desire to get. You begin to feel like, am I studying the right way? Did I understand the topic wrong? Like, what is wrong? You begin to doubt your own methods, doubt your way of doing things. Or after reading so hard, you're in the hospital, you feel like you understand the topic so much, and then your senior doctor just asks you a question and you are totally confused. Like, isn't this what I just studied? Your self-esteem will go through storms. But I feel like this is, I would say it's normal, but it's something that will happen. Because like I said, you cannot really learn everything and have everything in your head. There will always be a question that someone will ask you as a medical student, and you will not know. And honestly, it is okay for you not to know the question that you're being asked. If you do not know, it is okay. Just go and learn it. Don't put too much pressure on yourself, oh my god, I feel so bad, I'm so dumb, I'm not a good student, things like that. It's all just unnecessary. Every medical student is struggling. Everybody also has strong parts, courses that they do better in. So just relax, take a deep breath, and if you do not know, try study, try relearn, and move on as usual. Number 6, imposter syndrome is real and you will experience it. You will get to a point where you begin to feel like you are a fraud, like you don't really know anything. After all your work, your studying, your years, you will begin to feel like a day will come and they will realize that you actually don't know anything. And this is something that actually happens to a lot of high achievers and overachievers and people that are always so top in their class. And in fact, everybody, because to an extent, we're all overachievers in our own ways. When you feel like you don't really know it, but you actually know it. You know you have put in the work. You know you have studied. You have done everything necessary to do something, but you always feel like you are not good enough. You always feel like, one day people will just realize that, this person doesn't even know anything. Imposter syndrome is real. You will doubt yourself. You will know the answer to a question, but you will not even be able to say it. You feel like it's today the day that they will find out that I am not as good as I am not as good as I am supposed to be. Like, you will see yourself excel so well, but you also feel like, is this real? Like, is this real? Am I really this good? It will happen, but always remember that you have put in the work. As long as you're working, that's all that matters. You have put in the work, and your results are yours. Your years of study, your years of hard work are yours, and you are where you are supposed to be, and the sky is your starting point. Okay, so let's move on. Number 7, lifestyle changes. Your life will change. Yes, your habits will change. You'll become a different person. Your friends will change. Your circle will change. You might even lose friends. You might develop some bad habits, poor sleeping habits. Some people will become coffee addicts and cannot even stop drinking coffee. Like, a lot of things will change in your life because of medical school. Because for you to, continue studying, continue learning, for you to give the amount of work that you put in medical school, so many things about you would have to change. Unfortunately, this is true, but that's why it's very important to find a balance in medical school. So, just know that will happen, and don't feel so bad when you realize that you don't have time for your friends anymore.